I want my buttons to have icons that are editable or that can be changed at any time. Yeah. So this a little bit, it's not so advanced, but it's easy really. So let's start. So where should I start from? So first, I want to copy icon sets from a particular design system and paste it in my Figma file. Yeah, so that I can access them anytime. Yeah. So one of my favorites is Lucide Icons. Yeah, it's from Shatsi, and so what I can do is I can come to my home template and tools. So this community basically. So community in Figma is just a place where you can get different assets. So you can search for as many things as you want, and you can copy them into your file. So there are so many things you don't really need to start from scratch that someone or some people have done for you. So all you just have to do is to copy it and paste and modify it to suit what you have done. Yeah, like something like, for example, calendar. Yeah, so instead of trying to design a calendar view, yeah, someone has probably done this already, or you can find it in so many design systems. So you just go there, copy the design tool, and paste it in your Figma file. So okay, let me first start so that you understand. Okay, no, I think should I do that? Let me focus. Let me focus on the buttons first. Then after, if there's time, I'll come back to that. So there's a favorite um icon set I use, which is Lucid. So you see a lot of them. Yeah. You can use anyone you would want. I think I prefer the one directly from them. There are so many you can copy anyone. This one has a lot of users. So okay, let's use this. It's compared to this one. So you can open it. Yeah. So this is details. You can read. That's one than can see. That's 160. That's 1,633 icons. This is the size. This the stroke. Yeah. So you can see what people have said about it. You get so you can see that this legit. People are talking about it. So when people like it, you can see the reviews. Does anyone hate it? Are people complaining? So just the same way you buy on Jumia or you buy things online, you can read reviews. So let's open it first. Let me open it. Mm. Don't forget this, guys. Lucid. Then you could check for material, you could check for whatever icon set you want, but I'm using Lucid in this case. Yeah, so you can see a lot of icons. Yeah, so you just know that you don't need to. So instead of downloading all these icons individually, what I can do is I can come here. Yeah, you can see all the icons. So I can come here, click on the frame, Control C. Yeah, so come to my file. I can create a separate page for it so it does not interrupt. It does not interrupt with your design. So let's create a separate page. Let me call it icons. Let me call this one main. Yeah, so I come to my icons and I paste it. I'll give it a few seconds to paste. It's a lot. Okay, that was fast. So I've pasted it in. Yeah, I have all my icons here now. So in my Figma file, all these icons, I no longer need to download from with plugins or anything. The only reason why I might need to download is if that icon does not exist in this file. So for example now, let's say you need a let's say you need a let me think, what can be custom. Okay, let's say in farming, you need a particular leaf, let's say leaf icon. There's probably a chance that you won't find the leaf icon here. Yeah, you can't find everything here. Or you need a laptop icon. It might be there, but in case it's not there, you can then download the icons from a plugin that has that particular icon, or you can design it yourself. But in this case, these icons that we have here, yeah, they are going to work for us. So I have my icons. I can come back to my main. let's create our button. So I create a button here, call it button. Yeah, let it as enter. Let's make it bold. Let's make it 16. Yeah. So I have my button text. Yeah. So I can add auto layouts. In creating button, auto layout is the best you can do to it. So how do I add auto layouts? Shift A. Shift A is the shortcut for auto layouts. Or if you just right click and add auto layouts. You can see the shortcut is Shift A. Yeah. So you can easily see it. Let's add I could have had should not have used this file. I think we already had a Figma file where we created colors. So just for in this case, I don't want to okay, let me just do this so it will be easier to explain things. So you guys remember this process of creating um, color palettes in your Figma. So let's go with any of them. Let's use material. So I think I like blue, bluish purple. Bring this on, yeah, yeah. Let's just create star. Yeah. Okay. So let's make this color 500. Yeah. So I can round the corners if I want. It's like 48. Let me make this 24 or 20. I make this probably it's yeah. So you guys are with me so far. Yeah. So I want to do something. I need to add an icon to on both sides. So what I can do is I can come to my assets. So if you remember from the last one of the I can't remember for the last class, I told that every component you create or add into your file, you can find them under the assets tab. Yeah. So this is created in Figma. So sorry, created in this file. We have 1633 components. That's all the my icons. That every icon here is 1633. Yeah, so that's what you can find here under the assets as 1633. So you can see everything here right now. Here you guys are with me. So arrow down, arrow up. If I come to my assets, you can see the icons here. So once you copy these icons, they copy as components. So that's why they can read them. All right, so let's so I don't take too much time. So let's search for arrow. So we have a lot of arrow options. I need one pointing right. Should I use it? I think there's a long. I saw a longer. There's a longer version of it. Okay. Let me copy this into the file first. Where is it? Yeah. You can copy it. Yeah. So this one I was looking for. I think I prefer the longer one. I prefer the longer one to the shorter one. Let me delete this one. So I can because it's an auto layout here. I can drag this in here and it automatically fills it. It automatically places itself inside. So I can scale this down to let's say 16. What's the height of this button? 19. Okay, 16 works. I can adjust the spacing between them. Hope I'm not too fast. If I'm too fast, please tell me. So 8. I can change the color to white. Or if you don't understand, just tell me at any time. So I need to add a button to the left also. So let me look for left. If you guys are with me, if you have any question, you can ask. Okay. So we have our left eye side. So I can drag it in I give this 16, right? So let's scale. So let's scale it down to 16. So let's change the color to white. Selected color to white. Good. So now we have button. We have an icon on the left. We have an icon on the right. We have our text in the middle. Yeah. So I think we're all set. I think I can bring this down to 12. Yeah. So we're all set, basically. Cool. So what I can do is convert this into a component. So now it's a component, I can easily access it. Okay, it's a component, yeah. So now that I've made it a component, remember the purpose of what we want to do. I want to be able to change these icons on command. Even from here, you can, in case you don't want to, in case you don't want, before I explain that part, you can easily change the icon here. I select this drop down, I can come here and change it to, let's say, newspaper. So you can see how it changed automatically. I can change newspaper to not. It takes the size of the size I created. It adjusts itself automatically. Let me go back. Let me make the arrow back to right. Yeah, but we can even make it better. So now I'm about to teach Boolean states. I don't know if we have heard of Boolean states. So Boolean states are like conditional statements. Yeah. And there's also instances I'll also be teaching. So Boolean state is, do I want this or not? Yes or no? Toggle. I don't know if you guys remember Boolean in mathematics. Yeah. So neither nor, those stuff we did back then. Yeah. So let's come here. Yeah. What I can do, since I've made the button into a component, so it makes things easy for me. I click on one of the icons. Yeah. I come to, you can see appearance, right? You can see this little icon here that's called apply variable properties. Yeah, I can come here, click on it. I can see no variable property available, so I create one. So I click on plus. Yeah, so I can call this icon. No, let me call it right icon. Yeah, so do I always want it to? Not really. There's sometimes I don't want it on. Yeah. Okay. So I can turn it off. I say, okay, I want it false, or I can leave it as on. You can always change it. Let me leave it as true for now. So I create my property. So it automatically adds right icon. Now the second one is called instance. Yeah. So remember where I changed the icons by clicking on this drop down. Yeah. If I need to automate it, sorry, yeah, I can call it automate. I can click on this icon there that says create instance swap. Yeah. So instance swap mean instead of coming here to click on it, instead of coming to click on this particular icon every time, I can click on the component and change them myself. So let's click on instance, create instance swap property. I can call it right, right icon. Okay. And I can create my property. Very easy. Yeah, you don't see them yet because you're still inside the components. Let me convert this. Let me edit this. Oh yeah, I can edit. Let me, if you change the file, if I change this, it automatically, okay, just give me this. So I want to do, what was it about now? I want to duplicate this button. Since I'm using a component, yeah, once I duplicate it, this becomes an instance of this component. So now you can see the icons on the right that says right icon. I could have called this right icon visibility. Well, let's just call it right icon. So I can turn it off for me. I say I don't want to see it, and it turns off automatically. I click on it that I need it, and it comes back on. I can come here, click on right icon too, and change the icons, whatever I want. So let's call it package, or let's say um, panel. Let's say panel button. You can see what happened. It's automatically changed on its own. Yeah. So if I put this into a frame, let's say iPhone 16, and drag it in here. Where did it go? Yeah, and drag it in here. I think I can add more spacing so it's more visible. So let's say this is, let me turn this to 20. Let's make this 12. Yeah, I can, you see, whatever I do here, it affects the button here directly. I can toggle this off and on. So let's do for the other icon. So same thing for the other icon. I come here. I can, in this case, let's do this way. Let me change the instance swap first. So whichever way you do it, it works. I can create property, call it left icon. Let me call it left icon. So create property. So now I have my instance swap property. I can come to my appearance and change the Boolean property. So I create a new variable property. I can call this yeah, let's say show left icon. So I can toggle if I want it off on or on. So I can turn it off in this one. Let me turn it off in this one. But I can come to my button here and turn it back on. So you can see it. So because in this case, I made the Boolean property first before the instance swap. So that's why it's arranged according to how I added it. In this case, I created the instance swap before the Boolean property. So that's why it feels this one. You can always change it to name you want. You can come here. Oh no. So you can come here. I can change this icon to network. I change it automatically. I can turn it off if I don't want. I can turn both of them off if I don't want. Yeah, even if I adjust the size of the button, I can bring them back on. And change them to whatever I want. So I hope we get it. Does anyone have any question? Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, I'm here.
Yes, I have a question. Do we use these icons every time like we do a project, or we can use them as an asset? Like every time we open a project, we can access them, or it's just one thing, and
So
we every time we copy and paste them.
now you can always copy and paste the. Are you talking about the icons or what? Which one? What are you talking? What are you asking about? Let me ask.
Yeah, like the icons, like this one. Uh, just
Okay.
we can add one time in that set, and we can access them every project in every
Yes, you
project.
can access. You can copy and paste in as many projects as you like. If you have a paid version, you can have a unified um design system where whatever project you have, this becomes your icon set for them. Yeah, but if you're using the free version, you can just keep copying and pasting the icons wherever you want, and it will copy and follow you wherever you take them. So yeah,
So we can just reuse them without copy and pasting them.
you're talking about the icons,
We
right?
can.
Yeah, you can copy and paste the icons as many times as possible as you like.
Okay.
But there's no limit. So that's like this is the design. This is the icon set we copied it from. So it's always going to be here. Like it's always going to be. You're always going to find it in your community.
Okay.
Let me open it. You're always going to find it in your community. So there are a lot of versions here. Lucid. So you just pick anyone you want. I think I prefer this Opera Chat CNUI. Okay, but I use this one in this case. Yeah, but I prefer the Opera version. Yeah. So you understand it, right?
Yeah, yes, I get it.
Yeah. So So with this, you could easily let me turn this back on. You could easily complete your button state. So this is the default state. I add the new variable, sorry, variant. I could change the color of this. Let me use the next one, 600. Add the new variant. Let's make this 700. Let's add one more variant. Let's call this disabled. Yeah, so disabled is when it's disabled. So prototype, so from your default state to your hover state. So I want it to change while hovering. I want this to change while pressing. Yeah, probably one of these days we'll talk about all these guys here. Um, one of these days. So I could change this. I could leave this as it is. I can call this hover state. I could call this first state. And we could call this disabled state. Yeah. And so if I play this, it's an iPhone 16. Yeah, it's an iPhone 16. I'll give it a few seconds to load. Yeah, so now I have my complete. Yeah, so you can see it's responding to me. You can see how it is. So I can create as many buttons as I want. Could create as many buttons as I want, and they would all. Let's call this. Let me make it small. Let's call this login. I can turn off. I can turn off the left. The okay, I meant the left. So I should have done the left before the right, but don't worry. It's your design system. You can do it as you like. Well, ideally, I should have done the left before the right. So it's let me call this right. So I have all my icons, so it's automatically just adds it in. So I have this. I could create this. So let me do something interesting. Yeah. I can close. Let me close this. I'll come back. I'll come back to this. So once you have done this, yeah, you don't need to keep. If you need to create a secondary button, you don't need to do it from scratch again. All I can do is to let me call this guy button. Let me add a slash. I call this primary. So you see what I added the slash. So I can duplicate this Control D. So now I have a new button. Yeah, I can call this button and I call this secondary. So what I can do is I can make my secondary button an outline. Yeah, so meaning I put a stroke. I can let me take out the fill and use a stroke instead. Okay, so it's easier to oh no, it's the same thing. So I add a stroke, I make it 5. I can make my white also 500 the purple. So same thing for this. This is 600 stroke 600. I take out the fill. I change the color to 600. Same thing here, but 700. Take out the fill. I make this 700. Same thing. This is 200. I change this to 200. Take out the fill. I change the text to 200. Yeah. So now I could come here. Okay. I could come here and change. No, these are the properties. So I come here and change my primary. instance to secondary. So you can see I created a button before. This is okay. So why you can see this is because I added a slash in the name. So you can see button slash primary. And you can also see button slash secondary. Yeah, so what that does is it creates a folder called buttons. Yeah, so if I come here and I change and I click on this drop down, it's in a folder called buttons. Yeah, so I can just easily change it to secondary. I see it adjusts automatically. The icons colors adjust. Yeah, it adjusts automatically. Yes, I can the same things I could do before. I can turn off my left icon. I could turn off my left icon. I could call this, let's say something like sign up. Yeah, just sign up be a second. I can take out both icons. Let me just take out the icons. Oh, I need the icons so you can see what I'm doing. So let's make this right. Yeah. So I guess I can add an auto layout to both of them. Let me take them abilities. So I hope you guys understand what I'm doing. So you can see your buttons and you can duplicate them on as many pages as you want. Let's play our prototype again so you can see the changes. Yeah, so you can see this is still your button. This is still your button, and yeah, all I just did was to duplicate this one. I can do the same for this. Probably call this. Let's give it a red. So give me a minute to fix this. I use material right. Red. No, this is not it. Red. Somewhere here. Is that red? This purple is not red. Yeah. So look at this. Let me just create a stuff. So I could create my danger button, meaning red. So like danger button, like logouts. Let's make it interesting. Let's do something. I can duplicate this too. Yeah. So I want the same effect I did for this, but in this case, I want them to be red. Yeah, I can come here. I can select both of them. Yeah, and so one thing I also want to teach today is selection colors. I don't know if you guys are used to it. So if you select multiple items, you can bulk change the color. Yeah, so in this case now, I want my 500 purple to be 500 red. So all I've selected, once it sees 500 purple, I want you to change the 500 red. So it changes both of them. So let's do the same thing for 600. Hope I'm not too fast. If you guys are not following, please tell me. 700, 700, 200. I could come here. 200. Yeah. So now I've read. So this is how you create. This is how you. Once I created my primary and my secondary, it's just a matter of duplicating. So you don't need to do each button individually from scratch. It take a lot of time. So I can create a new folder. I'm going to call this button primary slash let's call it blue. I can come here, create this one, same thing, blue. So same thing here, but in this case to be red, and in this case it should be red. Yeah. So cool. It's cool, right? So I could come here. Let me duplicate this so it will be interesting. Could come here, just click on this blue. Yeah, and you can see because this is a primary button. Yeah, I can see the options I have for my primary buttons. So I have a blue for my primary buttons. Let me go back. So I've created buttons so you can easily see it. So I've created buttons as my primary folder. So once I add a slash, it adds another folder called primary, which is this. It also adds another folder called blue. So if I click on primary, I can see blue already. If I click on secondary, I can see blue already. I don't know if you guys get. Hope I'm not talking so much about it. So if I change this particular primary button to red, it automatically changes. I can change this secondary button to hold on to red. I can change it back now. Okay, I don't want this to be a secondary. I don't want this to be a secondary button again. I want it to be a primary button. I can change it here. Same thing here. I can go back and say I don't want this to be a primary button. I want it to be a secondary button. So there are a lot of things you can do in Figma that most people don't know or are complex too. So this is the idea. So I can play my prototype again. And all I just have to do is to just swap. You get, and that what makes your designs consistent. That what makes your designs more professional. Like little things like this. So they compare your designs to someone who doesn't know these things. There should be a difference. You should feel this component, these button states are there. So it's more obvious. Let me do something. Let me add a fill, or in this case, something very faint. So this, I could do that here. I could do this here. Could do this. Can leave that there. Okay. If I make it on there, it's not visible. So I can just leave it. I leave it as it is. Yeah. So same thing. Yes. Whatever you adjust on your buttons, adjust generally. Yeah. So once I adjust them, make sure I choose on there. So if I come here and I hover, yeah, you can see it's changed automatically. You get, so these are little things that make your design feel cool, yeah, and consistent. So I can come here, I can adjust. You can see how they are adjusting. They are so smooth, so smooth. So any questions so far? I think that's all about this. So any questions so far from anyone? Was any part confusing? Or when do you want to ask, when do you need this? When do you use this? Whatever it is, you can just ask. So I'm guessing no questions. So I'm guessing everybody understands. That's what you guys are saying. I understand. You acknowledge that I understand everything that was just taught. Right. I believe you. All right. So the thing that's majorly what I wanted to teach today, and to see how you guys can implement all this in your workflow. Because I'm preparing you guys not just for landing page or challenges, but um, for when you get actual projects, how do you handle it? Yeah. So this is an easy way to create your button states. Okay. So what can I teach again today? So you guys all understand this. That's what you are telling me, and I'm happy you understand. And nobody says they don't understand. So I've taught fonts, I've taught colors, now I've taught buttons. Um, what else can I show you how to do it? Well, I taught input fields in that tutorial I made. I'm hoping nobody asked any questions, so I'm believing everybody understands. So the same thing as in the input field is how it works for the same way it works on buttons is how it also works in input fields. Just understanding your Boolean states, your instances, and your instance swap. Yeah, so that's cool. No question. Someone is unmuted. Right. Okay. Mm, okay, now I don't know. I don't know what to teach now. Does anyone have any idea what we can do now? Or does anyone have any? Did anyone encounter any issue designing this week? And they'll feel I can talk about it.
Maybe
Okay.
when I try to design some mobile app,
Okay.
uh, I use the keyboard, but like when I'm prototyping and displaying it, how can I like type really when I showed like the project? I just use
Okay. Okay.
static text and just yeah. What?
So I'm not 100% sure I get the question. Like I did you attempt to type in something in your prototype?
Yes, but like I cannot
Yeah.
find any
Figma,
tutorial on it. Yeah.
yeah. Figma does not support inputs. Like you can't in your prototype, you can't manually type on your keyboard
Okay.
something to well, except you have a paid version, but
Mm,
you can't ideally manually type into Figma. It's just a prototype.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
sure you're welcome. All right, so this is this. So let's do something fun, like as a side. So let's talk about so assignments. Well, this can be an assignment if you're interested. You create this. Yeah, you can create your buttons and how they works. Yeah, so let's do something interesting. Let's do toggles. Yeah. Oh, let me open Shatsi and Remix. Okay. Okay. Let me check. Okay, I share it to the group. Yeah. Give me a minute. Try to see what I can. In my head, I'm thinking of teaching how to do toggles, but I don't know if it sounds simple. I don't assume you guys know how to do it. Like when you click on toggles, how they go come stuff like that. Or should we talk about prototyping? So this 8 o'clock. Well,
Sorry, please.
yeah, me too.
Please, what is this? What is the standard? What's it called? The standard auto auto layout grid for mobile.
I get your points. Oh, I actually don't get your points. What do you mean by totally house good?
Sorry, layout grid. Sorry, not auto layout. Layout grid.
Okay, so I'm just trying to like in what area do you mean? Is it like imagine
For
around your
the
buttons or
no. For the canvas itself. For the frame, for mobile frame.
well okay, more like margins on both sides, right?
Yes. And the
Let me
gutter.
guess. Like well to be honest, there's no formula to it. Like it's that one is it's entirely dependent on you. Most times I use for mobile I use 16. Yeah. I use 16 most times. But there's no standard what do I call it now? There's no there's no standard formula that says this is the color you shall use and any other spacing is wrong. You could use 20, you could use between 16 and 20. most times. Don't go too far. So it's not too much and it's not too small. It's just perfect enough.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, sure, you're welcome. So one thing I think I can show before I go is, so I opened a design system. So this is the design system like I said, I use, so I take from, yeah, it's Shadsi and UI. There's so many of them. So it's just one of my favorites. So you can see typography. I can't remember I shared this the first class we had. So we have typography here. You can see, okay, what's small, what's large. We come to colors. You could see how they lay out their colors. You could check documentation also, the primitives. So these are their buttons. Yeah, you can see the states. Yeah. So you could copy some things from here in case you need an email input field. In case you need an input field, instead of building yours from scratch, you could easily come here and pick some of them. Yeah, but I didn't intended did not show this from the beginning because I mean it's best you understand how to create them yourself before um before before stealing like an artist. Let me use the word. So you can get some of all these things from here. Yeah, and there are so many of them out there. So it's not just Shotzi, and there are a lot of them out there. So you can pick from. All right. So let me just before we close, let me just show you how to do toggles very fast. It's very easy. How do you create toggles? Well, toggles are on and off switch. Like this guy here. So just on and off. So how do you create something like that? And you can if you look at it closely, you can see it's very simple. So I can click on my circle or click on make it 20. So I have my circle. I have my circle. I can notice I'm always using auto layouts. Yes, that's cool. So shift A, add auto layouts. Did he add? I don't think so. Shift A. Yeah, added now. So I can adjust my margins to like let's say 4. Let me add a color so you can easily see it. Let me just add the random color. Yeah, I'll adjust the color later. I think I can make this guy 24. As bigger. Yeah. So what you can do is to adjust the width. So if this is 24, I could have a width of 64. I change the corner radius to value 48. Yeah, let's say this is let's make this 2. Okay. Let me so 20 times 2 is 56. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do small like this. So I have these states. I could make this my off states. So let's make the background. If you have, I have make it grayish and make my circle white. So I could say, okay, this is when it is off. Let's make it dark. So this is when it is off. Then I can duplicate this. it, then change my position or my alignment rather to the right, and make this green instead. Yeah, somewhere here. So I made this green. Yeah. Or let me make it okay. Let me reset green. Yeah. So now I have to. Yeah. So we want them to just the same way we have our variables. Just the same way we have our variants here. The same thing we want here. So this in this case I created one component and added variants along the line. But in this case, I created both my create component sets. If I click on create multiple components, what I get. So I think I lost my network for a moment. Yeah. So I said I want to create a component set. So what I do is click on create component sets right here. Yeah. So you can see now it has become a component set, individual variants. I could call this off. We call this on. Depends on what you want. You could name whatever it is. Yeah. So I come to prototype. I prototype this to this, and I say on tap, and then change my animation type to smart animate. I don't know if you guys are familiar with smart animate. I come to this, I click this, and when I click on this, I want the trigger to be tap. It automatically showed smart animates. Yeah. What does this do? Yeah. So it automatically shows smart animates. So what I can do now is I can copy this component I've created. And then bring this here so it's less confusing. So I've created let me call it toggle. Yeah. So you can either copy this directly from me or you could come to your assets panel and so now if I search for button, load. Okay, why taking time? Yeah, so all the buttons I've created, you can see them here right now. My red, my blue, secondary, primary, they all come here. Yeah. If I search for toggle, so because I called my component set toggle, I can see my toggle here. So I could just drag it, drop here. Or better so I could just copy and paste it here. Yeah, so both of them works. Just showing both options. So I could come here. Let's add it here for fun. Could come play my prototype. Yep, so you can see it right. And toggle. So you can see how it's smooth, cute, and sleek. I feel it's too long, right? Or is it just me? No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so you can see it's. I like how it's moving. So now I have my toggle. So does anyone have any question on how I made that? Or it's easy, right? It's actually very easy. Does anyone have any question? Yeah, so if there's no question, I think have shown what I was hoping to show today. I'll think of what we can do next class. Yeah. But okay, let me think. I'll think of an assignment. So this week, I think we could go more complex. Yeah, we could create a web app. So instead of, I think the last one I created, it was just some mobile app screens and stuff that I'll be doing. So this week we can create web apps. Yeah, so I'll look for a web app that we can create. So one that will have all these buttons. I think a dashboard would be better, like an admin dashboard. One that has all these buttons, toggles, stuff like this that you need. Yeah, that you need to create most of all these components in. So I think that'll be the next class. So any question before we wrap it up? So Miracle, Michael, Nolawitz, and Adile. Yeah. Any question? So I'm guessing that's a no. Yeah. So I'm guessing that's a no. So I think that wraps up today's class, and I think we're able to do something simple today, but I hope we also apply it on in the assignment that I'll be sharing on the group. So just be probably go to the dashboard where you need to create all these sets in. Yeah. So okay. So see you next class, actually. So bye. What else?